Prophetic Ministries, Greensboro. It was already explained that we do have a Philadelphia chapter, and we do have a Rising Charlotte chapter, but we are trying to establish our chapter here in Greensboro. So we just thank you again for coming out. For those who do not know me, I am Minister Candace McDaniels, and I bring forth the Sunday school lessons on Sunday mornings, and I also do the Bible study lessons on the fourth Tuesday of every month. So again, I welcome you with the heart of God. We welcome you, our entire family. Just welcomes you, and welcomes you again. You know, this walk isn't easy, as my parents were saying before. It's not easy. And we don't count it robbery, nor do we count it, taking your time away from you to come out on a Saturday morning. But guess what? It's not to learn us. It's not to meet us. As much as we love meeting people, and as much as we love greeting people, and as much as we love loving people, the ultimate goal is to meet God. So I joined this Greensboro website when I got down here, because again, we don't know anybody down here. Now, we took y'all to Philly, we can tell y'all blindfolded. Where to go, how to go, what time not to go there, we know it all. But down here, we were led blind. God called us to this area. But nonetheless, once we got here, as my father said, we still were blinded. We didn't know which way to go. So I had joined this page, this Greensboro page. I saw all these Greensboro pages on social media, and I just joined them. And as I was trying to invite people out to church, I said, looking for a church? Do you need a church? And then God told me about 2 weeks ago, he said, I want you to change your language. See, because it's not about looking for a church at this time, it's about looking for God. So when you go out and you make a post, I want you to ask them, are you looking to meet God? Because one thing about Christ Compassion Prophetic Ministries, and here's the thing, it ain't always going to be a good word. Sometimes we're going to have to tell you what God said, and it's not going to feel good. But at the end of the day, it's about love. When God chased us, when he chastised us, that means he loves us, because it's not about where we've been, and it's not about where we are now, but where it is where we are going. And that's the most important thing to God. It's the most important thing to God. Where our future, where is our destination? So whatever we got to do, even if it be for one person that comes sit on these pews, if they meet God, it was worth it. Us packing up our entire family, us leaving our homes, us moving our children all the way down here for one person, it was worth it. If it was just for tonight, whatever you receive on tonight, it was worth it. Amen? Amen. So I just wanted to give you all that welcome, and I thank you all again for coming in. And again, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start the testimonial play this testimony begins from 2015, and on I think May 15th, it was Mother's Day that year, my husband's brother had passed away in his sleep unexpectedly, and we went to the house, got him together, getting ready for the caretaker to come pick him up, and about 2 weeks later, on May 23rd, we were at his funeral. So we were at his funeral, and my husband comes from a fairly larger family. He's one of 8. And they were burying him, and we were coming out of the funeral. And as we were coming out of the funeral, my husband said, my sister was also with me at the time, he says, y'all go get in the car, and I'm going to go say goodbye to my family, and then we'll leave. So I said, okay. And he went to walk away, and he was about, from where I'm standing, so about the front of the church, we were a pretty distance away. And these swarm of bees. I'm not kidding. There were so many bees. We heard the buzzing sound above us. And we looked up, and it was almost as if a black cloud had came over the church. And so many of us started to run. We started to run, and we jumped in the cars because we were afraid that the bees were coming to attack us. So I jumped back out the car, and as I jumped back out the car, I walked to the back of the vehicle, and I looked to my husband, and I said to myself, oh no. I said, Terrence is about to get stung. And no sooner than I said that, I could tell that he turned to me. He looked at me. And even though we were far distance between each other, I could tell he didn't feel good. And he took about 1 to 2 steps towards me, and he collapsed. And I can't even explain to you all the very next seconds of that trauma in my life. I was 33 years old at the time. We had just had our fourth child. And I thought he was playing. Because he's a jokester. Anybody knows him knows he's a jokester. But then a very couple of seconds after that, I said to myself, my husband would not be on the ground in a white blazer because his family wore white to his brother's funeral. So I started to scream. And I was so upset as I tried to run over there. I tried to get over there. It just seemed like I was running on a treadmill. I just couldn't get there quick enough. But by the time I had got there, I just could not formulate to call 911. I don't know if anybody's ever been upset before, but if you are that upset, all of what you know, it's all a blur. And there was so much chaos going on at this time because his family is now realizing they just put his brother there. Now Terrence is collapsed on the ground outside. There was so much confusion going on and just stuff. So by the time I had got to him, his other brother was trying to pick him up, and then you can just imagine the chaotic scene. I was yelling to my sister, call 911, and everybody was just ripping and running everywhere. And it was a point where I could tell he asked back in, but he wasn't talking. He wasn't talking, he wasn't walking, he wasn't doing anything. The only thing he was doing was looking at me intently, and I could tell that he was in agony. He just was squirming, and he was wailing, and he just was, he just kept making these loud, grunting, piercing noises, and it was upsetting. And his brothers and everybody was saying, well, he's all right because he's responding. I said, he's not okay. Because even if he was playing around with y'all, he would not be playing around with me, knowing I was afraid. And he just kept, tears would just pierce through his eyes, and his skin was so hot to touch. And he just kept it up. By the time the ambulance got there, the ambulance workers ran over to me and said to me, well, is he on drugs? Does he do it? I said, no. They said, he just dropped it. I said, yes. We said, well, man, we don't understand why his heart stopped. But we're going to have to transport him because now he's in completely mental default. It was like he was a vegetable out of nowhere. And every single time they would go to him, they would go to him and say, Terrence, we're about to put you on a gurney. Are you ready? Terrence, we're about to strap you in your arms. Are you ready? Terrence, we're about to move you to the ambulance. Are you ready? And are you ready just kept piercing through the whole chaotic scene. And I said to myself, why do they keep asking, is he ready? Let's go. So he said, listen, McDaniels, we're going to put you in the front of the ambulance ride. And they wheeled him to the back of the ambulance and they put him in the car. And when they put him in the car, they banged on the back of the ambulance door and they said, we're ready. And no 10 to 5 seconds after that, he really started going crazy. It was so bad, the ambulance truck was swaying, it was moving. He was trying to fight them. And they kept yelling up to me, they said, does he like music? And I said, yeah, rap. And they put on this rap song in the ambulance truck. And they said, Mr. McDaniels, I'm sorry, but we're going to strap his head. And they look a little scary to you, but this is what we have to do, and they're trying to combat and fight us. And I said, okay. And they were strapping his head, they were strapping his chest and his feet, and everything was strapped up. And he was just wailing, and he was screaming, and kept trying to get up, and just fighting. So we got over to the hospital, and all the nurses and everybody was running in and out the rooms and things of that sort. And it took time. So from the time he collapsed, his heart stopped. So the time we got to the hospital, all the doctors was coming in. It's been about 4 or 5 hours. He was still like this. So around the 6th hour, a doctor came in. He said, Mr. McDaniels, we don't know why his heart stopped. We don't understand why he's like this. If you're telling me that he was walking and talking fine all these years, and now he's like this, we don't know. They said the only very nice thing we can do is give him a brain scan and see how much brain activity is left. And I said, okay. Because at this point, I'm 33 years old, we have 4 kids. I don't know what I'm going to do with a fully disabled husband. So they wheeled him away. And it was about 45 minutes later, they came back with him. And they said, Terrence, we need you to move your arm so we can put you up against the wall. And he did it. And I said, oh, let me tell y'all something. You need something from God. I didn't even care no longer at that very moment when he moved his arm after that 6 hours of turmoil. I didn't care if he couldn't talk. I said, thank you, Lord. As long as he can understand, I'll take it. I don't care if he can't walk. I don't care if he can't talk. I'll take it. So he moved his arm. They put him up against the bed and they walked out through and they said, the doctor will be with you soon. And I walked up to him and he shot straight up. And he called my name. He said, Candace. And I said, yes. I said, what happened to you? In my normal way, I'm yelling and fussing. And he starts pulling on my hair. And he starts pulling on my cheeks and pulling on my face and pulling my clothes. And he was asking me, is this really you? Is this really you? And mind you, I'm in the middle of Voorhees, New Jersey, virtual hospital. And I'm like, yes, it's me. What happened to you? And his eyes was bloodshot red. And there was tears just pouring down his face. And he said, Candace, I just came back from hell. Every hair on my body stood at attention. Because while I didn't know it until that moment, I can 100% testify and witness to the very thing he must have been experiencing there. Because on the natural side, he was in complete agony. And this is what happened on his side on the day that my husband went to hell.
So I stayed in one place and I said, if I could get anything, please, Lord, let me be able to see my wife, my kids again. If this is where I gotta be, please let me be able, because last thing I know is I went out and I left him. So on my mind is, I felt them. I would never see them. I felt them. There's nothing I can do. Whatever happens to them is on me because of nothing that I can do where I'm at now. You know what they did? They gave me a window. And when I say a window, it's probably as big as the pictures that's hanging, the small picture that's hanging up in the church. Just something to peek in. As I'm peeking through this window, it's showing me my wife. It's showing me what my family is doing to her. That part is really scary because on the natural side, you'll see your family. Of course you love your family. Of course you love them. You wouldn't think they'd do anything harmful for them. But in that window, it was my wife and it was Dean. They showed their true face. This is what it is. This is what you let them to be with. This is how it is. And I cried and I'm grunting and I'm running because I can't cry. If I cry, it will burn more and more. And so I'm just biting down, trying to take whatever that is going to happen to me from now on. And then the window shut. And they told me, they said, you know what we can do for you? We can send you back. In my mind, because I'm still trying to contemplate, like, how am I going to survive this? There is no more options after this. I can't just rewind time and say, okay, well, I'm just going to do better now. I promise I'm going to do better. No, it doesn't work that way. They said we can send you back. But when we send you back, you won't be a vegetable. What I mean by being a vegetable, and I never thought this out before, they said you're going to be sitting in the chair. You're not going to be able to talk. You're not going to be able to move. You're not going to be able to tell nobody what's going on. Your family and everybody is just going to be around you until your body physically drops dead. Your soul is eternally going to be here with us. go watch it until your body decides to drop. So there's no soul sitting there. My body, so you're telling me my body is just going to be present to mock everything that's going on where my family is probably trying to feed me soup or trying to comfort me or let me know, oh yeah, I remember when T used to be like this. Oh, I remember when T used to be like that, man. Yeah, man, that's crazy what happened to him. But I'm not even in there. I'm not even there. I have to watch it until my body decides that's it. As I was down there, I almost came to the point that I wanted to give up. Like, I'm like, there is no way out here. A voice came. Another voice, another family member said, T. In echoes. T. Called me. I'm like, what is that? That voice is familiar. T. I said, dude? T. His voice didn't change. It didn't get demonic or anything. It was dude. It was my brother. The same brother I just left his funeral for. He's saying to me, this is not where you want to be. You gotta get out of here. You gotta pray. You gotta tell them what you see here today. You gotta tell them. Mind you, it feels like I've been there. My wife told me that I was only there for 6 hours. That time had double when you're gone. It felt like I was there for over 40 years. I was only 30-something at that time. My body felt old. It felt like I was there. I aged. I was there over 40 years. Going through that. He said, you gotta go home. You gotta find a way out. You have to. God got a better plan for you. Tell them what you're saying. I'm like, dude, I can't. We here. I can't even see. I can't even find you. There's no way out of here. We're here. He like, pray. Do what you're supposed to do. Tell them what you say. Tell them what you say to them. And his voice faded. And I said, please God. Please God. Let me be able to do that. Please. When I said that, a wind changed. And I started to become lifted up. As I started to become lifted up, it was the coolest wind in the world. I said, it was one of those feelings. I know that it was God. I know that it was God that picked me up. The feel that I had, it hovered my whole body. And it was so cool and so cold. It was like everything. I didn't have to think about anything. All my worries, everything was gone, erased from my mind. I wasn't thinking about anything. I was just in awe. Just in awe just to be in that presence. And I know that he was saying, if you only do right, this could be your place. This could be your place. I woke up in a hospital. They were putting me in an MRI machine. The whole time that I was down there in hell, I was being played tricks on. So now I'm about to fight the doctor because I'm telling the doctor, you ain't gonna put me in here. Oh, no. You gotta let me know. Give me some proof that you. And this is not another trick and I'm still here. He would not release me. He had to call in another doctor. Oh, he's down here fighting. He's going through it. I said, you don't understand what I'm saying. You have to show me proof that you are who you are. And this is not a game, and this is not a trick on me. I said, I want to talk to my wife. If I can talk to my wife, then I'm good. I'll do what y'all want me to do. Because I said to myself, if I'm able to talk to her, this is real. It gotta be real, because I wasn't able to talk to her then. They only let me see her. I would never be able to talk to her. I said, let me talk to her. They couldn't get it, for some reason they couldn't get her on the phone to call downstairs. They said, they said, how about this? We'll let you go upstairs if you just let us give you, and if you promise you won't let us give you the thing, we'll let you go upstairs and we'll let you see her. I said, cool. I went upstairs, immediately. Here she come running. She started running back to the table. When she ran to the table, I started pulling on her. Everything. I'm shaking, I'm pulling on the hair, I'm pulling on. I said, Candace, is this you? She telling me, yes. Where you been at? I'm like, Candace, is this you? She like, yes, boy. Where you been at? Terrence, are you okay? I said, when I realized that it was her, I said, Candace, I just came back from hell. And she just backed up. And then she called my mother-in-law because she was right at the hall. They were out. I don't know what happened during the time that it happened, but it happened. They were out. My mother-in-law started running up, like, Candace, what's going on? And she started explaining to my mother-in-law what happened. And I grabbed her too. I want to know, are you real? Where I came from. I'm looking at her mostly because I'm saying to myself, we get toward this every day. Even tonight, y'all hearing this story. You probably have people here tonight that's going to say, you know what, well, maybe I don't believe in that. Maybe that's not realistic enough for me to believe. I don't really go to church that much, this, that, and the third. I got the tendency of making things make sense to me. Have you ever hurt yourself and before it happened or almost got in an accident and before it happened you said, oh my God, that one could have been the one. Oh man, that was close. People that God is, if you didn't believe that there was a God, or if you didn't believe that there was a devil, that is God giving you a conscience, letting you know that yes, you have another chance. You have another chance. This is your chance. I done let it slide again. Gave you a chance. Because if you didn't believe it, hey, that car crash, you wouldn't even thought about that car crash. It just would have happened. And you would have been gone. But every single person will scream out, oh my God. Oh my God. That could have been me that time. My God. That's a conscience. That's God telling you, I am here and I am giving you another chance. Everybody don't make it out. I was fortunate to do it. Everybody don't make it out. But I was fortunate to do it. And I was only fortunate to do it to be able to tell his story. I'm not a talkative person. I don't do this on stage, none of that. I'm going to give it to you directly, the same way it was given to me. So you can go ahead today and think, you know what? I still got time. You know what? I still got a little, I can do it tomorrow. I just walked out of my brother's funeral that same day. It was nanoseconds before I dropped. Nanoseconds. You don't know when your last day is. You can walk out this church today. Today. And something happened to you and you will never see this again. None of it. None of it. None of this earthly things that don't matter. When I came back, my wife would tell you, I had a bottle of water, no bigger than this, probably a little smaller than that. Regular bottle of water. I kept that bottle of water for 2 months. I sipped on it. I sipped on it every day because I was so thirsty. And I remember what fire felt like when I didn't have it. So I started cherishing the little things that he did give me. I started saying, kids, why do we gotta go in so fast? We didn't have to go in so fast. I just wanted to smell air. Remember what air smelled like. I started cherishing the little things that he gave me. So, get right, because it is a hell. I'm Terrence McGee. Love you too. God, I can't believe what just happened to my door. That happened so fast. Bro, yeah. That happened so fast. And on Mother's Day, I know we supposed to go meet up, but I got every other kid to do. Let me find out, make sure they good, and then I'm gonna meet you back at the house when you meet up with Mommy. All right, hold on, let me find out. Candace! What is she talking about? Candace! She talking. Candace! Wait. Candace. Candace. Wait. No. This can't be. This cannot be. No, I know I didn't. I know did I just die? This part of the testimony is the testimony that that cannot be acted. Only be told the truth about what I witnessed when I laid and died and went to heaven. My eyes shut, closed. I didn't see anything. It was pure black. Black. You can't see your hand in front of your face. Nothing was there. Nothing was around me. I was confused for a minute because I didn't know whether was I up, did I faint, or what's going on. I had no knowledge of nothing that was going on. I just seen black. And out of nowhere, a whole flash, when I said to myself, and I fell down, a flash went across like a deck of cards. When they say your life flashed before your eyes, that's what that was. It was a flash like a deck of cards. Now, I didn't know what that was, so I started to begin to look at it and look closely. As I was looking closely at it, it was me. Things I've done like a rerun of a movie. At this point, I'm still confused. And I'm worried and scared because I'm not sure what just happened to me. And I just walked out of my brother's funeral. When it flashed before me, and I'm looking at these videos, I said to myself, wait, did I just die out of confusion? As soon as I said that, I started to fall. Fast. I'm falling. This dark black hole. Still dark. I land on the tray. When I land on this tray, the tray reminds me of a hospital curtain. I'm laying down on this tray, and it's dancing around me. From my feet all the way up to my head. I'm all strapped down on this tray. As I'm strapped down on this tray, I'm still saying to myself, did I just die? Did I just die? No way. There's no way. There's no way. Knowing that my conscience, I'm not ready. I kept telling myself in my mind, I'm not ready. As I was saying that, claws started ripping at my clothes. I had necklace, jewelry on, and everything. They started tearing my chains off of me, my watches off of me, everything. Everything just stripping me to nothing. And what I mean by claws, it was long fingers just pulling at me, can't get it, just pulling at me. I couldn't move. Then I heard a big bang on the door. They said, Terrence, are you ready? I said, what is that? They said, Terrence, are you ready? You ready? At first, it sounded like my uncle or family members and friends that I know of talking to me. They're like, are you ready? Are you ready? I'm like, no, I'm not ready. No, I'm panicking. Are you ready? Are you ready? They just kept saying it. Then they asked me did I like music. I'm like, no, I don't like anything. I don't want anything. They asked me if I like music. They played this one rap song that I used to blast all the time. I used to play it all the time. all the time. Listen to it, like addicted to it. They played it. And when they start playing the song, the bands on that tray start to burn. Every band on that tray started to burn from my head to my feet. I started wailing and crying, trying to fight, trying to break through these bands. But every time I tried to break through it, it tightened up on me. It got stronger. Them same people still talking, still voices. Terrence, are you ready? Are you ready? Mind you, this is my family. So I'm confused on why are you saying this to me, and I'm burning. I'm in agony right now. They kept saying it for a while, and I think thinking it was all over. When I arrived back up, it started all over again, like I just got there. So it was a constant and constant repeat. Every time I fell out, it started back up again. They still talking, they still singing. Then the voices changed. They went from being my family and my friends to demonic voices. And I mean, what I mean by demonic, I mean, they start to echo. The voices started echoing. Terrence. Like that. Deep, demonic voices. It's starting to change and call it. As they was calling me, they took the tray that I was laying on and they rolled me into this room. Now when I got to this room, you can look straight up and it seems like forever. Like we look up to the sky and see stars. This was a tunnel that went on forever. Forever. I said, please God, please God, please God, please God. No, I'm pleading, please God, how am I gonna get out of this? How am I gonna get out of this? All this time I'm gonna sit in church, all this time I'm gonna waste time. How am I gonna get out of this? How am I gonna get out of this? And I'm in this tunnel. And I'm sitting up. Now, sitting up. And I'm looking at the walls. At first, from first glance, it looks like rocks. Like melted rocks. And as I walked close to the rocks, or what I thought was rocks, it was bodies. Deformed bodies pressed against each other, and they were screaming. They were screaming, and the voices just kept getting louder. God help me. God forgive me. Lord, I didn't mean it. Lord, why am I here? And they were screaming, and you can hear the demons beating, and you can hear the chains rattling. And these people was just screaming, please let me out, forgive me for whatever I did. Please, Lord, give me one more chance. They're just screaming. And I'm saying to myself, this is hell, and I'm going to be going through this to no end. As I'm down there, I start to get the smell. It was a smell of, I don't even know, I can't even say death, because I never smelled what death is, but it was a smell that you couldn't bear. I couldn't bear. I started throwing up and just getting sick. Now getting sick and being in hell is not getting sick and being here. You can throw up here on the street, or whatever the case may be. But you get sick there, you're just sick. Everything is in it. Everything is coming to you. Everything that's going through, or whatever you was going through, like the pastor said earlier, it's happening to you in tenfold. It's happening. Everything you're internally taking. So the smell was horrific. It was just an unbearable smell. And then the flames started. And I started walking. And I started hearing the demons. And they were calling me. Terrence, are you ready? They laughing and joking on what's going on. Because in my mind, at this point now, I'm just thinking on what am I going to do? You can't just be in hell and just think what are you going to do and think they don't know what you're already thinking. They're laughing at me like he really believes he's going to get out of here. It really didn't hit him where he is. I'm walking around. I see adulterers. They got a man. They got a woman hanging up, totally nude, and they're piercing them. Demons are piercing them with spears and pulling them with chains, with spikes, and all types of demonic things to them that you would literally only see in like a horror film. But this is real. I started crying. As I'm crying, the flames are burning the skin off the cheek of my face. So every time that you cry and get emotional, it will burn even more. And I would faint out, and I would come back, and it would start all over again. And it will continue on starting all over again. You see the preachers down there. The people that have been praying, been teaching people what it is, how to get right every day. They're down there saying that same word, saying that same scripture, and they are burning. Saying scripture, saying words, repeating, reciting. This is good.